Hello, you're kicking off the Wednesday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin with Miliji and the headlines. General Secretary Reup visits Vietnam Military History Museum. General Phan Văn Giang meets with voters in Thái Nguyên. Flight rehearsals for Vietnam International Defense Expo 2024 inspected. On the occasion of the 80th fighting anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th anniversary of the Whole People Defense Festive Day, on December the 4th, General Secretary Reup visited and worked at the Vietnam Military History Museum. General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, joined the mission. General Secretary Reup and the delegation spent time visiting the Vietnam Military History Museum, one of the 6 national museums and a leading professional agency in the military museum system under the management of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. The museum is where the values of the military cultural heritage of the Vietnamese people are preserved and promoted through an elaborate and profound display system, which introduces visitors to the basic contents of the process of forming and defending the country, particularly the 2 great national resistance wars lasting for 30 years of the Vietnamese people and revolutionary armed forces under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam. Currently, the museum preserves 150,000 artifacts from the Hùng Kinh and Dương Vương era to the Ho Chi Minh era. In the first phase, it displayed 3,500 artifacts and 4,700 photo documents in an area of about 8,000 square meters. On the first floor of the main building, under the themes of the historical process. Open to public from November 1st, 2024, after 30 months of construction, the museum stands out as a distinctive architectural feature in Hanoi's Western District. It welcomes about 25,000 Vietnamese and foreign visitors in normal days and even 45,000 ones during peak days. General Secretary Reup emphasized the significant role of this project in educating the traditions and history of Vietnam, noting that the task of building and defending the fatherland are 2 strategic tasks in the current situation. He stated that under the leadership of the party, the Vietnam People's Army has always affirmed its core role in building a solid whole people defense disposition and people house disposition, thus effectively implementing external activities to protect the fatherland early and from afar. I feel so proud when I'm here. I'm delighted about the development of the military. I commend the General Political Department and related agencies for making efforts to put this project into operation on an occasion of the national holiday. The artifacts and documents here show off the maturity of the Vietnam People's Army, as well as the bravery and intelligence of the military, providing profound knowledge for people. The Standing Board of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense said that the General Political Department will continue with the project in the second phase on the remaining 25 or 26 hectares of the land area, including the landscape infrastructure, the outdoor exhibition space, the service area for visitors and exhibitions on the 2nd and 3rd floors. Since it was first open to public, it has welcomed a large number of visitors. On weekends, there are traffic jams. Every Vietnamese is proud of the strong willpower of the Vietnamese people in the resistance wars. On behalf of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense, I would like to provide commands of the General Secretary to effectively operate the museum, a destination for domestic and international visitors. In the coming term, the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army will continue to closely coordinate with relevant agencies, militaries, and Hanoi City, as well as historians, in soon completing the project for the second phase, thus fully appreciating the historical and cultural significance of this important building, which is a right address for research, study, preservation, and promotion of the heritage tradition of the Vietnamese people. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on December 3rd visited Southern Đồng Nai province to inspect the progress of the Long Thanh International Airport project and the Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway project. With the decisive direction of the Prime Minister and the active engagement of relevant ministries, local authorities and related agencies, significant progress has been made in the Long Thanh International Airport project. The project's key components are progressing well and on track. During the inspection, the Prime Minister urged contractors to expedite their work and complete any delayed sub-projects while underlining the importance of quality, safety and threat practice. The Prime Minister also emphasized the need for the completion of the surrounding infrastructure like roads, metro system and railway connections. He set a goal for all related projects to be completed by December 31st, 2025, with the airport operational as soon as possible. On the morning of December 3rd, a delegation of National Assembly deputies of Thái Nguyên province met with voters, officers and soldiers at Division 346 under Military Region 1. General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, attended the event. The voters were briefed on the outcomes of the 8th session of the 15th National Assembly, especially the adoption of the amended and the supplemented law on the officers of the Vietnam People's Army and the law on the People's Air Defense, with extremely high consensus of National Assembly deputies. The voters also raised specific opinions concerning land and housing policies for military officers and the streamlining of the apparatus. General Phan Văn Giang affirmed that the 8th session of the 15th National Assembly was a great success, with imprints of innovative thinking in the legislative work, the active and urgent construction of a legal corridor for novel issues and trends, creating breakthroughs for the national development. The Defense Minister also emphasized that in the coming term, agencies and units need to thoroughly work and continue to strongly innovate, urgently arrange and consolidate the organization of highly skilled, streamlined, strong forces, improve the operations efficiency associated with restructuring the contingent of cadres competent for the task of building and safeguarding the fatherland. The days serving in the military are the happiest, most beautiful, emotional, united, sentimental, and memorable days. It is the responsibility of the armed forces, including the military and the police, which cannot be separated. The Defense Minister urged relevant agencies to study, advise, and issue guiding documents to effectively implement the new regulations for the military officers and carry out the People's Air Defense task. On this occasion, on behalf of the Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense, General Phan Văn Giang presented gifts to collectives and individuals who are children of wounded soldiers, war veterans, needy households, and those affected by natural disasters, and some agencies and units of Thái Nguyên Armed Forces. On December 3rd, Senior Lieutenant General VIET Deputy Defense Minister paid a visit to Regiment 927 and Division 371, the Air Defense Air Force Service, to inspect the preparations for the flight rehearsals to welcome the Vietnam International Defense Expo 2024. Regiment 927 has developed flight plans, theoretical study schedules, and practical exercises. Recovery flights and 3-4 aircraft formations have been organized for pilots and crews assigned to the mission. In response to the unpredictable weather, the unit has practiced 3 contingency plans, placing the responsibility of officers, pilots, and crews. General VIET directed the regiment to stick to the training plan of established scenarios and follow the Ministry of National Defense plan to ensure readiness and safety. He also tasked the Air Defense Air Force Service with mobilizing optimal resources for technical support. All flight assignments must strictly follow commanders' orders with plans in place for timely responses, ensuring the health, stability, and morale of pilots and crews. Coast Guard Region 3 recently held a conference to prioritize and send off Coast Guard ship S005 to begin its visit to exchange with the Indian Coast Guard. The ship's crew were asked to grasp the purpose, requirements of the mission, principles of defense diplomacy, and ensure security and safety. During the trip, the delegation of the Vietnam Coast Guard will pay customary calls on local leaders of the Indian Coast Guard in the Western region, respect its sports and cultural exchanges, Coast Guard Ship S005 will also participate in joint exercises with the Indian Coast Guard on search and rescue, fire prevention and fighting, and oil spill response to sea. Coming up next, promoting energy-saving investment in industry. Culture connects Vietnamese and Cuban people. On December the 3rd in Da Nang City, the Ministry of Industry and Trade, in collaboration with the Korea International Cooperation Agency, KOICA in short, held a workshop on promoting the market for energy-saving and efficient investment in Vietnam's industrial sector. The workshop focused on sharing and discussing the results of the project to promote energy-saving and efficient investment in industry, supporting Vietnam's Green Growth Action Plan, funded by the government of the Republic of Korea since 2021. The project has assisted the Ministry of Industry and Trade in developing 2 energy consumption benchmarks for the paper and steel industries and creating 5 technical guidelines on energy efficiency for other heavy industries. As planned, the project will continue to enhance capacity in energy-saving industrial investments through workforce training, introducing solutions and experience, and connecting financial resources to effectively implement energy-saving initiatives. Under the National Program for Efficient Energy Use, Vietnam aims to save 8 to 10% of total energy consumption by 2030 and achieve net zero emissions by 2050. The traditional friendship and special solidarity between Vietnam and Cuba have been continuously consolidated and developed in our views, with new cooperation prospects in line with the development trend of the times, meeting the aspirations of the two peoples. In recent years, cultural cooperation and exchange have become a spotlight in the good relationship between the two countries, connecting the two peoples located in the east and west hemisphere of the globe. The classic bullet listing films performed by dancers Nadila Estrada and Alvaro Toranzo. This romantic classic was choreographed by Cuban bullet legend Alicia Alonso, based on the original choreography of Michel Foucault. The classic was also the opening for the recent performance night at the Hồ Gươm Theatre, Hanoi, by artists from the Cuban National Ballet Theatre. During the event, 60 renowned ballet artists of the Cuban National Ballet Theatre brought audiences special performances of the troupe and performed with Vietnamese ballet artists through classic works of Spring Streams, Carmen, or Swan Lake. Beyond the framework of a cultural performance, the event clearly demonstrates the friendship and solidarity of the two countries, where the language of art is the cultural bridge connecting the Vietnamese and Cuban people.
It's my second time because I danced in 2016, so I am so happy to be here. I'm honored too, because the relationships in between the two countries is very important. And then, as a cultural ballet company, it's a way to show our culture and the Cuban artists. It's very interesting to have the intercalate also the Vietnamese ballet dancers, because they can feel that they are near to us.
We are having cooperation in different sectors, economically and commercial, investment, and also we have a high-level cooperation in political affairs. Next year, we are going to commemorate the 65th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relationship. And we hope that it will be a very important step in order to elevate more this relationship. In terms of cultural exchange, we have many possibilities now and in the future.
60 years ago, in December 1964, members of the Cuban National Ballet Theatre, led by Alicia Alonso, who was director of the theatre and founder of the Cuban Ballet School, visited Vietnam and were warmly welcomed by President Ho Chi Minh. In the context of wartime, there was the first foreign art troupe to visit Vietnam, marking a milestone in the relationship between Vietnam and Cuba. The bold list of artists from Cuba not only convey artistic significance but also demonstrate the solidarity of the two peoples, where the language of art is the cultural bridge connecting hearts of the Vietnamese and Cuban people. It's the end of the English News Bulletin today. You can watch our news again at QPVN.vn. But goodbye and see you next time.